Question for you. How do you close out your year? Do you close out your year? Most people have some sort of thing they do at the end of the year, whether it's partying or setting resolutions for the upcoming year or reflecting back on the year that's ending. Generally speaking, people tend to be self-critical in those reflections, as well as, let's be honest, in setting New Year's resolutions. Reflections tend to be about what went wrong, and resolutions tend to be about what we should be doing or being. There's some value in looking at what went wrong, to be sure, but not in an I failed sort of way. And I'm rather fond of saying that the only New Year's resolution I ever actually kept was to never make another New Year's resolution. Okay. I'll be talking more about resolutions and goals in January, so if you want to know when that video is published, you'll want to subscribe and click that notifications bell. I'm all about leadership and about creating a humane and productive workplace, so if that interests you and you haven't already subscribed, you'll want to do that now. So, okay, let's look at this question of reviewing and reflecting upon the year that's passed. And let's do it without judging or criticizing ourselves for, just for instance, not sticking with that resolution to go to the gym that so many people make. Instead, I'm going to walk you through a process that originated with the United States Army, but has since been picked up by many organizations and many people, including, for instance, CAL FIRE, the California Wildfire Fighters. It's called the After Action Review, and it's a set of questions to ask yourself that help you evaluate what happened and what you can learn from it. If you do it in a group, say a project team when the project is ended, a key principle is that only the people actually involved in the event are allowed in the room, and this is important, there's no rank in the room, even if the CEO is there. Okay. My version of the After Action Review, and I call it the art of the reflective review, consists of 7 simple questions. I've modified the military approach for organizational and personal use. First question, what were the expectations? Since we're talking about a review of the year, looking at the past year, what did you expect to happen? You can be as specific as you like, but don't be too generic or general. And this is absolutely essential for this process, do not get involved in, well, I or we expected this, but instead got that. The but instead thing comes later. First, you must identify what you expected without referring to what actually happened. Getting all involved in what happened will distract you from what you expected, and you won't have the full, clear picture. And that is the second question. What actually happened? Don't answer it until you've finished answering the first. No judgments here. No, if I hadn't screwed this up, or, but Jane got that part wrong. Apologies if your name is Jane. Just the facts, what actually happened. And it's important, really important, to note the things that went unexpectedly right, the opportunities that jumped out at you without warning, the ways something was easier than anticipated, and so on. The human brain is hardwired to look for the things that went wrong. The ancient ancestor who was alert and looking for trouble escaped being eaten by the saber-toothed tiger and was able to pass their genes on to us. The happy-go-lucky rainbows and sunshine ancestor, well, they aren't ancestors because they did get eaten and they didn't pass on their genes. So it takes some effort to actually search out and take note of the good stuff that happened, especially when we're talking about an entire year's worth. Okay. Third question, what's the delta? What are the differences between the expectations and the actuality, and why? You expected a promotion and you didn't get it. Why? Or conversely, you didn't expect a promotion and you did get it. Why? And so on. No judgment. Just this was expected and, not but, this is what happened. Fourth question. What are your feelings about the differences? We have emotional reactions to things that happen, and this is your opportunity to notice that you feel great about some things, maybe not as good as you expected about other things, and pretty crummy about some things. And notice where you're beating yourself up about something that didn't go as expected, and see if you can let yourself off the hook at least a little bit. And whatever you do, don't overlook the chance to give yourself a high five and a yay me about the things that went well. There's more on this step in particular, but the whole process overall in document that I link to below on, it's actually more like a workbook. I link it to below. So go get that when you're done watching this video, of course. Fifth question, what can you learn from all this? What have you learned about yourself, your team, if you're doing this with them, and how you and they work? Are there particular patterns you can notice, whether thought patterns or behavioral? Sixth question, what do you need to remember to carry forward? What actions of yours caused you to get that unexpected promotion? And what actions of yours maybe caused the promotion to slip away? Again, we've got to look at the positives and the negatives and to really work to override the brain's natural tendency to always go to the negative. And notice too that I am emphasizing actions of yours. This is about looking at what you can control, or if you're doing this with your team, what you all together can control. There's no point beating your head against the things that are outside of your control. You can't do anything about them, so let them go. The fact that a key team member got COVID and was out of work for a month and that caused your entire project to get delayed, you can't control that. For one thing, it's past, but you can't control the fact that they got COVID. But as you'll see in the next question, you could think about risk mitigation in the future, so you'll have backup plans in the event a crucial person is suddenly unavailable. This is how we learn from things that have happened. So the seventh, final question, what are the strengths specifically that you've noticed and uncovered? This is a separate question from the last because, again, I keep hammering on this, we tend to overlook this in our endless pursuit of self-improvement and growth. It's great to want to grow and evolve, and one of the ways to do that is by recognizing where we did well and thinking about how we can bring those strengths forward into other areas of life and work. This is revealing, and it can be a lot of fun, believe it or not. I use the process for myself, both for specific events such as a workshop I facilitated or a presentation to a client, as well as looking back on a year, a quarter, a month, or a week for that matter, or a day if there's something that has happened in a particular day. Like I said, there's a detailed workbook available on my website, and the direct download link, no email required, is in the video description below. I'll add that there are tons of other resources available on my site, some of which do require an email, but I promise I am not a spammer. I send out helpful stuff each week, at least that's what my readers email me to tell me. So let me know what you think in the comments, and by all means, if you have questions, do leave those in the comments as well. I always come back to answer. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the link, click the bell, and you'll know when I release a new video. Now, go forth and do your after action review, your reflective review, and have fun with it.